Okay, welcome to today's class, Introduction to Biology. Now we're talking about some basic terms and basic things you need to know in biology. Let's get straight to the point, okay? You're so sorry. You're welcome to my YouTube channel at B Occasion. Now, if you've not subscribed, if you've not watched my video, if you've not commented, please do well to do that, because in this channel I share important things that help students excel in their academics and what outside the academic section. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go there. The first point here is what is biology? For those coming into XS1, I know we had the prerequisite knowledge of biology or science itself. Now the word bio means what? Life, okay? Logy means study. Bio means life. Logy means what? Study. Okay? So biology means what? The study of what? Living things. The study of living things. The study of living things. Okay? Now, the characteristics of living things, there are certain characteristics. Okay, there are certain things that make something to be called a living thing, because we have living and non-living things, okay? Living things are those things that has life in them, whereas non-living things are things that does not have life in them. For instance, stone is a what? Non-living things, okay? Things that does not have life in them are called what? Non-living things, whereas things that has life in them are called what? Living things. Now these living things show certain characteristics. Okay, there are things that make them living, and there's an acronym for it. Let me clean the first. There's an acronym for it. Now we have the known acronym is Mr. Niger D. Mr. Niger D. And also we have another acronym called Mrs. Green. Okay. If you don't remember this one, you remember this other one that's called Mrs. Green. Green. Mrs. Green. Okay. I think I need to outline them. Okay. So the M stands for what? Movement. Okay. The R stands for reproduction. Okay. The S stands for sensitivity. Or what? I put irritability. Okay. That I'm going for Mrs. Green. G is for what? Growth. R stands for respiration. E stands for what? Excretion. N stands for nutrition. Okay, N is for nutrition. Now for Mr. Niger D, this R here is referred to as what? Irritability, like I said, otherwise called what? Sensitivity. Okay, and D stands for death. Okay, if you check in other textbooks, they added a adaptation. Let me use this point here. Let me write A. We have adaptation. Okay, we have this. So the characteristics of living things include what? Mr. Niger D or Mrs. Green. Like I said, M stands for what? Movement. R stands for reproduction. S stands for sensitivity or irritability. I'll explain them. We have adaptation, we have death, we have growth, we have respiration, we have excretion, we have nutrition. Now, when living things or when a particular thing can be able to carry out these characteristics, it means what? That thing is living. For instance, living things move about, okay? For instance, plant and animal. Now when you hear the word organism here, that reminds me, that's good. Organisms. Organisms refer to, otherwise you can abbreviate it as ORGS, okay? It refers to anything living, anything that has life it needs is referred to as organism, whether plant, animal, fungi, microorganisms, okay? Once they have life in them, they are referred to as what? Organisms. Take note. So, when a living thing is able to reproduce, give birth to its kind, okay, is referred to as reproduction. Sensitivity means when an organism can react to external stimuli. For instance, there's this external responses it adapts to. Like for instance, as humans, when we feel hot thing, there's this response, we react to it. Okay, when we are pricked with needle or anything, there's this sharp when there's a sharp pain, you react to it. You understand? So that's what it means by what sensitivity. That's when you react to external stimuli. Okay, let me say for instance, there are plants that when you touch them, they call them touch and die. I think so. When you touch them, the food, the clothes, okay, that's what they are reacting to what external stimuli. So that's for what sensitivity or what irritability. Now adaptation means when living things can adapt to what changes in their environment. Okay, for instance, we have different weather condition. We have the rainy, the I think yes, rainy season and the dry season. Okay, so as humans, we learn to adapt to what environment. Okay, as such, it is called adaptation. Do you understand? Now, D means death. All living things have what their lifespan. No matter how long you live, no matter how long you've existed, there's a particular day when you close your eyes in death. So all living things die. So don't forget about this. All living things that they have what limited lifespan. Okay, living things also grow. They grow inside and what in mass. That is growth. Respiration. Okay, when we respire, that's we exchange gases. That's what respiration. Excretion means when you give out, when you remove toxic substances, for instance, urine and CO2. Okay, when you excrete, when you remove those things, remove out waste product. Okay, waste materials from the system. Nutrition means when you take in food, when you take in something that gives you or that builds the body system. It refers to what nutrition. So these are the characteristics of living things. So let me go over to the differences between plant and animal. Okay, differences between plant and animal. Okay, we have so many differences between plant and animal. I'll just outline some for you. Now in terms of their feeding, okay, we're going to look at feeding. Let me use this color. Okay, let me use this as for plants, and this is for what animal. I have to tabulate it. Okay. So in terms of feeding, okay, let me use a general. Here, in terms of feeding, okay, plants exhibit autotrophic form of feeding, autotrophic. Okay, autotrophic mode of feeding, whereas animal exhibits heterotrophic or holozoic holozoic, okay? Whereas plant exhibits autotrophic or exhibits a autotrophic form of nutrition. Okay. Now, autotrophic form of nutrition means plants manufacture the food by themselves, okay, by the help of sunlight through the process of photosynthesis. So in this process, they go through a particular process called photosynthesis, the breakdown, okay, they was use sunlight to make food for themselves. The word auto means self, so plants are autotrophic in nature because they have certain features, okay, they have the chloroplasts, okay, so the help of the chloroplasts, they make the chlorophyll, they what they call chlorophyll 2. Chlorophyll 2. Okay, I'm just trying to use this. Whereas animals depend on what plants for their food, so hence they are called heterotrophic, or they exhibit what holozoic form of nutrition. Okay. Let me think. The next point. So the next point was in movement. Okay. For movement, plants are actually restricted or show no form of movement. They are restricted or show slow form, okay, of movement. That's to say, sometimes, they are restricted or show a slow mode of movement, whereas animals move from one place to the other, okay. They exhibit because they have what the necessary organs of what locomotions. I see specialized. Okay, they have specialized organ. They have specialized organs, okay, for movement. Oh, I see. Okay. Let me see. Animals show. They move. Animals move. Okay. So that's locomotion. They move from one place to the other. Okay. So that's for movement. Now for growth, let me talk about growth. Okay, so for plants they have what their growth is apical. Okay, whereas animals have well developed or animals grow in all parts of their body. Yes, animals grow in all parts of their body. Okay, when you see apical, plants growth is apical. There is a particular area where plants exhibit growth. That is the meristem, at their meristem. The meristem, okay? That's a tip of. There's a particular part that exhibits growth in plants. That's what the apical, that's the meristem. It's called meristemical kind of growth. Whereas animal exhibit growth in all parts of their body. Sometimes when you find plants, a particular place grew longer, or you understand, than others. That's what we call what apical kind of growth. Okay. So for excretion, animals have what special organs for excretion. They have specialized organ. They have specialized organs. Okay, whereas that's for excretion. Plants do not have special organs. Okay. Stop here. Now take notes. For you to outline more differences, using the characteristics of living things, you can use that to separate or differentiate what plant and animal. Okay. For time's sake, please let me see something. You're not limited to this video alone. Like I said in my previous video, ensure you have textbooks as well. Okay, you need to study. If you have questions, do well to DM me or send your comments. Okay, something you want me to talk about or expatiate or throw more light upon, you let me know. So don't be limited to what I'm teaching you here. You have textbooks. You need to start reading, start preparing yourself. Okay, for your exam. So I'm going to stop here. Now talk about the hierarchy. Talking about the hierarchy of living organisms. When you talk about the hierarchy of living organisms, it means how organisms are being classified based on their levels. You understand? When you talk about hierarchy, how you place people from the highest to the lowest. For instance, maybe you're trying to make an executive. Okay, in the board of executive, you have the president, you have the vice president, you have the secretary, you have the financial secretary, you have the treasurer. So that's how it goes from the head down to the least person in the team. But you understand, they are actually playing a teamwork. So that's how it is in the hierarchy of living organisms. Certain scientists, okay, tried placing organisms. They tried classifying organisms. Okay, classification of organisms. They tried to put in their best to classify organisms. So finally, a particular scientist called Carl Linus was able to classify living things. Okay, he was able to do that, to classify living organisms. So the hierarchy of living things involve 7 groups. So I have an acronym for it. It is called the KP class. KP class of GS. If you can remember this is my own acronym for it. KP class of GS. Now what does it mean? Let me outline them for you. Okay. Let me use this. Okay. Now we have K. So for kingdom. P is either phylum or division. Okay. C is what? Class. O is for order. F is for family. G is for genus. And S is for species. So amongst all, kingdom is the largest. Okay, kingdom is the largest. And S, yeah, species was the smallest. Okay, so living things we actually classified into these groups. There are actually 7. Now kingdom, we have about 5 kingdoms. That will be in my next video. I'll talk about it. Now this is the point where chemistry, biology becomes complex, because when you start grouping organisms, start classifying them, different names and everything, it becomes complex. But I promise you, I'm gonna break it down for you. Just follow me, watch my video. I'm gonna make part one, part two, part three, and others, because this is where students get it twisted. Okay, you calm down and you learn, and you also would gain knowledge. So, kingdom, we have about 5 kingdoms. In my next video, I'll talk about this. We have kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Animalia, Plantae, and what fungi. Okay, the phylum. Okay, animals actually placed here for phylum animals, whereas division is used to what? Place plants. Please take note of this point. Okay, we have class, we have order, we have family, we have genus, and what? We have species. This is the hierarchy of what? Living things. Living things, okay? This is the highlight. Like I said, kingdom is the largest and species is what? The smallest. The next point is what? The binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature. Now, what is binomial nomenclature? Binomial nomenclature is a scientific method. It is the scientific method of naming organisms. Okay, it is the scientific method of naming organisms. The word binomial means two. Bi means two. Okay, two. Nomia means name. That's name or naming. So it means what? The organisms have two names. Two names given to them. Okay? Like we have common names of organisms such as goat, dog, cow, elephant, even human beings too. Okay? We do that. Now, this binomial nomenclature, this scientific name is a name that is generally accepted. That is why when you're asked what is the scientific name of maize, you can say Z maize, because it's what generally accepted, as universally accepted. So this binomial nomenclature means what? The scientific method of naming organisms. That is, two names is involved. Now, if you check too well, from the grouping, that's the hierarchy of living things, living organisms are named according to what? These two key groups. That is what? The genus name, and what? The species name. Okay, now take note. The genus name starts with what? A capital letter. It starts with capital letter. And it can be abbreviated. You can abbreviate the name. Whereas the species name what? Starts with small letter. And take note, these names can be italicized, or when you're writing them, like as I'm doing now, you would ensure you underline them. Do you understand? You ensure what? You underline the genus name and the what? The species name. Now take note, when you ask what is the smallest, or what is this, yes, what's the smallest unit of classification? The smallest unit of classification is what? The species. Okay, species, because organisms within the same species give birth to identical what? Organisms, or their kind. and they are closely related. You understand? So species is the what smallest unit of classification. Do you understand? So the genus name and the word species name are actually what the two names we're talking about that give birth to this word binomial nomenclature. So like I said, the genus name is written in capital letter and it can be abbreviated, whereas the species name is written in what with small letter. Okay, for instance, let me give an example. For instance, for instance, what is the scientific name of the following? We have maize, we have man, we have dog. Okay, let me just keep this. Look at the scientific name. So the genus name and the species name. Now the scientific name of maize is what? Z maize. So you see what I'm writing? Z, capital letter, okay? Z. Then maize, small letter. And as soon as I'm writing, I have to what? Underline there. But if I'm typing it, for instance, maybe you're given an assignment, you have to type them. You what? Tell the person or you typing, you have to what? Italicize it. Write it in italics, italicize it, okay? So it should be written what in it, italicize it. So see what I've done so far. I can also write it as what? That's I'm trying to abbreviate it now. Z maize, okay? So what I'm doing, I can write it this way. It can be written this way or this way. Do you understand? For man, that's homo sapien. You see what I'm doing? You underline it, or you do what? H sapien. Do you understand? We have dog, that's a canis. Canis familiaris. So you see what I'm doing? You can write it as C familiaris. So you understand this now. So this is what we call binomial nomenclature. Do you understand? So I'm going to stop here. If you have any question, if you want me to repeat something, and I think we're going to, maybe in the next video, before I go into a new topic, we're going to do a little quiz, okay, a trivial quiz on what I've taught. That's the topics I've actually treated on. So we're going to try a little quiz on this, okay? So if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe, do well to share, comment, okay? Where necessary. Now your take-home assignment is this. Your take-home assignment is this. Your take-home assignment is this. You're going to write for me. Five. Write the scientific name. Write the scientific name of the following. Housefly, we have cassava, oh, let me know, orange, monkey, lion, apple. Okay, So please do this. And let me tell you something. There's a giveaway. The first 5 persons that will send in this in the comment section will get a gift from me. So please ensure you do that. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Bye.